In this drive-thru kitchen, I'm making the iconic Big Mac. I'm doing it for real. All the secrets, all the tips, all the tricks. If you want to recreate this thing as authentically as possible at home, I'm going to show you everything you need to know on how to make the Big Mac in your kitchen better and cheaper at home, because that's what we do here in the Drive-Thru Kitchen. Better, cheaper in your own kitchen. Let's get started making a Big Mac. If you always wanted to know what it took to make the Big Mac sauce, well, this is your lucky day because you're about to find out. I'm going to make it for you. 10 simple ingredients. No, it's not Thousand Island, although you can use Thousand Island. You didn't have that from me because the internet will crucify if you say it's Thousand Island. It's not. It also doesn't have any ketchup or tomato products in it whatsoever. That's weird until you find the origins of this and you realize this is based on tartar sauce, not Thousand Island. Why? Because there was a place called Burger Chef back in the Midwesty areas, and they had a burger there called the Big Chef. The Big Chef predated the Big Mac by, 10 years or so, something like that. And the Big Chef had tartar sauce on it, which basically is this exact same sauce, except they put paprika and a little bit of mustard in it. Oh my God, there's the secret right there. Basically, if you want to cheat and make this more authentic, you can take tartar sauce, put a little mustard and a little paprika in it, and that's closer to Big Mac sauce than Thousand Island. Mind blown? Are you ready for this? Let's jump right in. So the ingredients for the Big Mac sauce are 3/4 cup of mayo, 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish. We got half a teaspoon of white distilled vinegar, all this stuff, and of course the full recipes down in the description down below. Big Mac sauce, it's that easy. Seriously, it's just that easy. So now you know how to make Big Mac sauce the right way, I promise. And if anybody in the comments wants to argue, I have the receipts. I am happy to share them. I will show you. You can go to the McDonald's website, look up the Big Mac, and look at the bottom down there. It says allergen and nutrition information. It will give you a link to all the ingredients that are in this. If you find ketchup on there, I will give you $1,000. I know that it doesn't because it never has. So that's not real, that offer. By the way, if you make that up and go, gee, ketchup in it, and you fake that, you owe me $1,000. So go for it. All right, there you go. That is, there's your Big Mac sauce. Let's put that on a Big Mac. Do you ever wonder how they get those little white specks on top of the second patty to taste almost like onions? Spoiler alert, it's science. Yes, it is science. Is it onions? Legally? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm also not a food scientist. But I know how to make this because it's pretty simple, really. This is actually a trick that a lot of places used back in the day because there was a shortage of onions. McDonald's isn't old enough to go through this, but during World War II, there was a shortage of onions. Apparently, use them for weapons or something. I'm not really sure how onions fit into defeating the Nazis, but whatever it takes, give them all the onions you can, right? Give them the onions. But I, for the life of me, can't figure out how you weaponize an onion. I don't know. Doesn't really matter though. I mean, these days they weaponize cupcakes. I mean, we got cupcake wars on Food Network, so anything's possible, right? That should have been the first clue, by the way, that civilization was weaponizing cupcakes. All right, we're going to make these onions because that has nothing to do with anything that I just said. So there you go. What does this take? Minced dehydrated onions, the little onion pellets. Yeah, and water, equal parts. They have a teaspoon of water. We have a teaspoon of onions. That's going in. Maybe it's a little more than a teaspoon of water. It's roughly. But this is going to hydrate. You nuke this in the microwave just like they would have back in WW2. And that is, actually when they came up with the microwave. So that does actually, well, sort of, close. But nuke this for about 20-30 seconds and then let it sit. These things plump back up, turn into onions. It's like the seahorses that you get that you put into the tank of water. They start swimming around. It's brine shrimp. They're not real magic seahorses. They really aren't. Sea monkeys. They were sea monkeys. That's what it was. See, my brain just... I'm a little short on Big Mac sauce at the moment. My brain isn't working, so I need to get this Big Mac in me stat. Let's stop talking and just make a Big Mac. Come on. So let's get to the cooking part here. We've got buns going down on a hot cast iron griddle here. We got a little butter on it to make them super yummy and awesome. Make sure you got good contact on it so that the buns actually toast up nicely. Don't squish them, of course, but oh, look at that. That's starting to look pretty nice. Yeah, oh, that could use a little bit more. All right, we're just going to get these a little bit crispier. The club, we're going to leave the other side down so that we get to toast both of those. We got the heel, the club, and the crown. They're all done, so we can pull those off now. Yeah, that looks perfect. Well, that's going to make one beautiful Big Mac. All right, let's cook our meat. We have some ground beef here, 80-20. They use a leaner meat, like a 90-10 or 93-7, something like that. They use a 2-ounce patty. This is a 2.5-ounce patty because I'm cheating. I got some Lowry seasoning salt, and you cook these about a minute. The griddle's about 500 degrees so that you get a little bit of browning on that. As you can see, this isn't a smash burger, so you don't get really the crust. It takes about a minute on both sides. Just cook them until they are ready. Pull this off, and you're ready to assemble a Big Mac. Okay, the Big Mac is fully cooked. Now we just have to assemble it, which means assembling time. Thought that was implied. We have our Big Mac sauce that has not sat for the full hour. There you go. All right, so we're going to put our Big Mac sauce on the bun. This is the heel. We have the club right here, which also gets some Big Mac sauce. Yeah, it does. I'm going to do it the efficient way. I'm not going to do this one stage at a time. Heck no. That's not how we do it around here. It could be. I don't know. I don't have a set of rules or a plan or a script. I just go with what I do. Pickles. Pickles, dill pickles. If you want pickles that taste good, you can get the bread and butter pickles. This is a sweet burger. Might as well use the sweet pickles, right? Come on. It's the way to do this. All right. We've got a handful of this beautiful lettuce. Shredded up nicely. Not quite chiffonaded. I know it's a little different than the way it did. Theirs is a little small. It's not longer leaves. But I like it this way. It stays in better. We're going to put some on the top and the bottom right there. And the weirdest thing about this burger, oh God, there's so many weird things about this burger. How this ever caught on, I have absolutely no idea. But the cheese goes on top of the lettuce, cold. Okay? I don't know. All right, we take our 2-ounce, this is 2.5, but our 2-ounce patty, and we put it on there. Paper thin, or wafer thin, as they would say. It almost covers the bun. It's perfect. And basically, that is almost the Big Mac. I almost forgot the onions. Don't ruin it by forgetting the onions. These are the onions we worked really hard on. If you're going to make this, make it in something taller because these boil over when they're in the microwave. All the water does evaporate out, and all you're left with is these beautiful, wonderful onions. And this really is kind of one of those weird, stupid keys to how this works. Okay, this goes on here. This goes on there. And I'll be damned, that's a Big Mac. I made a Big Mac. There you go. That is pretty doggone simple. Huh. Look at this thing. Is that not Scream Big Mac? Come on. That's a Big Mac. There you go. I'm going to take a thumbnail real fast, then I'm going to be back. We're going to finish this video. But look at that. Come on. It's a Big Mac. All right. I'm back. Now, historically, the Big Mac was not always made this way. There's been variations. They improved upon it over the years. And then they started ruining it. But this is kind of the example of the 1980s Big Mac as far as the size, everything. It's a little bigger than normal. But they've really, I don't know what that fruit roll-up thing they're putting on the Big Macs these days that used to replace the meat patty. But that is, oh my God, it is so thin and flavorless and so terrible. And they just try and cover it up by putting 10 times more sauce on it. It needs more meat. The sauce is great. The sauce was always perfect. You can't fool me by putting more sauce on it. Some people love the sauce. I love the sauce. I also like having meat on my burger. And that burger right there has meat on it. And you can make this in your kitchen just like that. I mean, this is barely larger than what it's supposed to be. And it makes all the difference in the world. 2.5 ounces versus 2 ounces. It's not much. Come on. What's a little half ounce between friends? It depends on what we're measuring. But I'm going to eat this thing, take this bite, because, come on, we all grew up. Sauce. Big Mac sauce. We grew up with this thing. It's an icon. It's a legend. We all have a childhood memory. I'm about to experience mine again because I'm eating a Big Mac. It always amazes me how a Big Mac does not taste like any other burger. And the second you bite into that, you're like, 100% that's a Big Mac. Oh my God, it's so good. There's 100% a Big Mac. That is us, blindfolded kid. They won't know the difference. Honestly, it is impossible to tell that from an actual Big Mac, a good one from like the 80s. The ones now, you'd be like, hey, yeah, it's cute, but where's the actual Big Mac? Because it's way smaller. That has every flavor you know. Every flavor you love, every texture, all of it, perfectly proportioned. There you go. Drive-Thru Kitchen to your kitchen, the Big Mac. See you on the next one. Bye.